Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be building a house in Minecraft, but each room is a random aesthetic. As you can see, there are many different rooms around this much larger room. So the first room that I'm going to be building is a dining room. Now for my random aesthetic, we have cottagecore, which I think will fit really nicely with a dining room, and I'm quite excited to get building. The finished dining room build. Honestly, I really like how it turned out. I loved using the cottagecore aesthetic. My favorite part is definitely all the decorations on the table. The next room that I'm going to be building is the kitchen. So for the random aesthetic that I will have to use, I have coquette. So this is one of my favorite aesthetics. I'm curious to how I'm going to be able to use this in a kitchen, but I'm quite excited to try it out. Here is the kitchen. Honestly, I think I did a pretty good job with this aesthetic. It wasn't incredibly easy because coquette is a very complicated aesthetic, and I feel there's a lot of fine little details, which is not easy to get in Minecraft, but overall, I really like how it turned out. The next room that I'm going to be working on is the bathroom, and the aesthetic I'll have to use for this room is Decora. Oh boy. The finished Decora bathroom. Honestly, I don't love this one. It was a really hard aesthetic, definitely the hardest one so far to use, but there's a reason you don't see many Decora themed Minecraft builds. it's really hard. The next room that I'm going to be working on is the office. So the random aesthetic that I'm going to be using for this room is futuristic. I'm actually very intrigued by using this aesthetic, especially for an office. I think it's going to be super interesting. Here's the finished office. Honestly, I think it turned out pretty good for saying futuristic is not really a style that I usually use, and I don't usually experiment with it in my builds. I think it turned out pretty cool. The next room that I'm going to be doing is the living room. The random aesthetic that I have to use is Gothic. Okay, I'm actually really excited to try this aesthetic out. Here is the living room. Honestly, I think I did a pretty good job at doing a gothic aesthetic for saying I don't use it that much. I really like the walls. It's definitely my favorite part of the room. But honestly, I think it looks pretty neat. The next room I'm going to be working on is bedroom number 1. And the aesthetic that I have to use is soft girl. This is going to be a really good aesthetic to use for a bedroom. Here is the finished first bedroom. Honestly, this is probably my favorite out of all the rooms I've done. I just think it looks so cute and so girly. I love how these banners turned out. Definitely this one is my favorite. And lastly, I'm going to be working on bedroom number 2, and the aesthetic that I'm going to be using for this room is modern. Okay, this should be interesting. But not least, here is the finished second bedroom. I think this turned out pretty cool. For saying modern, like many other aesthetics, is not one that I use that often. I think it looks very sleek, very well modern. It's definitely giving, you know, those like expensive house tours that you'll see. This, I feel like, is giving that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which room was your favorite, and I'll see y'all in the next one.